A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant demonstration of civil disobedience, British police arrested over 200 individuals in central London on Saturday as supporters of the recently banned pro-Palestinian group, Palestine Action, took to the streets to protest the government's controversial ban. This law, passed by Parliament in early July, criminalizes public support for Palestine Action, an organization that has garnered attention for its direct actions against military and defense contractors linked to Israel. The protests were sparked by a series of events that escalated tensions between activists and the government, including a high-profile break-in at a Royal Air Force base, where activists vandalized military aircraft in protest of Britain's backing of Israel in its conflict with Hamas in Gaza. The demonstration outside the Houses of Parliament saw over 500 protesters gather, many defiantly displaying signs proclaiming their support for Palestine Action and challenging police to arrest them. The atmosphere was charged as demonstrators chanted slogans against what they termed genocide and called for an end to the ban, arguing that it infringes on their right to freedom of expression. Activists from the group Defend Our Juries, which organized the protest, claimed that the police's response was inadequate and that many of those arrested were quickly released on street bail, undermining the government's narrative that the law effectively combats terrorism. The Metropolitan Police Service countered these claims, asserting that they had successfully identified and arrested those who openly supported Palestine Action during the protest. They emphasized that many individuals present were merely onlookers or members of the media, and not all were participating in the demonstration. The police characterized the protest as unusual, noting that the demonstrators appeared to be intentionally seeking arrest to challenge the legality of the ban and to create pressure on the criminal justice system. The backdrop to these protests is the ongoing conflict in Gaza, which has reignited public debate in the UK about the government's foreign policy and its implications for domestic law. The Labour government, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has faced criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. While some accuse Starmer of being too lenient on Israel, others argue that his administration has not done enough to advocate for Palestinian rights. As the protests unfolded, further demonstrations were planned throughout the weekend, including calls for the safe release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas since the onset of renewed violence in October. The pro-Palestinian movement in the UK has gained momentum, with supporters expressing their frustration over the government's perceived inaction and the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. In addition to the protests supporting Palestine Action, police are bracing for counter-protests related to immigration, as tensions rise over the housing of asylum seekers in various hotels across the country. The situation has created a volatile environment, with demonstrators on both sides clashing over issues of national identity and social justice. The recent events highlight the growing divide in public opinion regarding foreign policy and civil liberties in the UK. As activists continue to challenge the government's stance, the implications for freedom of expression and the right to protest remain a pressing concern. The coming days will likely see more confrontations as both pro-Palestinian and anti-immigration groups mobilize, testing the limits of law enforcement and the resilience of democratic principles in the face of escalating tensions. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.